So there's two fucking brown guys talking about Superman. The fuck do they know about Superman? You fucking woke idiots talking about Superman. If you played fucking boys, they probably like that better. They probably like little boys when they watch boys. Omni-Man is fucking garbage. Invincible is woke garbage. Amber is white, not a black bitch.
Alright, hello guys, welcome to and I guess this is out of continuity Black Truth episode, or not episode, but you know, we're doing a little review. Alright,
They got their fucking continuity all messed up.
Don't ask about the continuity.
They're fucking stupid. They're fucking woke show.
This is like one of those episodes, or one of those issues, you know, of Superman, like a special one-shot issue that is so good, it's good, but it doesn't address the continuity. Like, let's say in the comics, like the main comics, like Lois and Clark are on the odds, or they're about to get divorced or whatever. This is gonna forget all of that. This is like standalone. Anyway, so this is our review of James Gunn's Superman 2025. He's doing his
I'm doing the Superman, like when he flies up,
no,
up and
I
away.
thought you were doing Overman. You know who Overman is?
No.
I thought you read Nietzsche.
Oh, you think of the Ubermensch?
Yeah, so obviously Superman is inspired by Nietzsche, or inspired by the idea of the Overman. Actually, in this one, this comic I just got it from half price for $1. There's actually a really good issue of All-Star Superman. And by the way, All-Star Superman was supposed to be like considered an inspiration for this movie, but not really. The only thing that this movie takes from All-Star Superman is that both like stories vaguely use like Silver Age looking symbolism, but it executes its own idea. Because at the time when All-Star Superman was out, this like type of Superman, this like where he has like the Forge of Solitude and it's like, you know, kind of Silver Agey, didn't really exist in the main comic. So Grant Morrison was trying to harken back to those things. But in this one, so he basically creates his own pocket dimension. If you read this book, you know what this is about. But Superman basically creates this whole pocket dimension without Superman, and he does it to see if they will create what happens if with the world without Superman. And what he finds out is that even in a world where Superman is out of the equation, Superman still finds a way to exist because of the first one. Literally, like, there's a thing of Nietzsche,
What the fuck?
writing about the Ubermensch, and then they go and they find out, like, okay, this world, this is where what's it called? I'm gonna show the panels and all that on here, but this is where Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. So basically, in a world without Superman, they will still find a way to make Superman. But anyway, that's a good story. All-Star Superman. This movie, I'm kind of iffy on it. Like, on one side, I do understand why people are so excited about this movie, or were excited and are excited about the future, because what this movie basically did is it Marvelized Superman again, which is funny because it's kind of like history is repeating itself. Because in 1986, after Crisis, not the first Crisis, but, you know, the big Crisis on Infinite Earths, we had a Superman reboot, and that Superman reboot involved John Byrne, who was mainly known for Marvel, creating stuff at Marvel. But at the time, I think so he was just done with his run on Fantastic Four. He brought back the X-Men. So he was known. John Byrne was known for when Chris Claremont first started X-Men, he did it with John Byrne, but then he left afterwards. So he was known for revitalizing kind of like dead, because at the time X-Men was like nothing, like before Chris Claremont, John Byrne, they were nothing. So he was known for revitalizing or reimagining certain superhero IPs and turning it into a different direction. So when he was brought out to do Superman, it was kind of thought the same thing. And now, because, you know, okay, 1980 or 86, now we're in 2025, we could get another creative which is mainly known for his Marvel work, and he's coming to do Superman. Well, he did 2 other projects before that, but he's coming to do Superman. The Superman is like the big thing. So Superman is kind of like, and he's also rebooting the universe. He's which was also happening when John Byrne did Man of Steel. He wasn't like the main rebooter, but the whole DC universe in the comics was going through a reboot, and like in this modern DCU is also going through a reboot and is being spearheaded by someone who worked at Marvel. So it's kind of like history kind of repeating itself. Also, what was the other thing? Now there's only one universe, or allegedly there's only one universe being done through entertainment. Like all the animated shows, they're supposed to be, I think literally except for like Teen Titans Go. What
about the Batman series?
Oh yeah, that too. So everything except for the Batman, Teen Titans Go, and like the Cape Crusader thing, everything else coming out of DC is supposed to be part of one universe now, which was kind of like the same thing in Crisis, but before Crisis, there was just like a bunch of other universes in the DC comics, and then they kind of try to streamline it into one thing. Just like how back in the, like literally just a couple years ago, we had the Snyder universe, we had what they try to do after the Snyder universe, they had the CW universe, they had the Titans HBO Max series, which is part of the Doom Patrol cinematic universe.
Is that the one with Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
The fucking crybaby! He's fucking crying every time! That guy?
Yeah.
He's fucking crying! I was on the Teen Titans, and it reminded me I was on the Mummy,
No,
and then I broke my fucking back,
no, he was.
and now I play a fucking fat ass who's gonna die?
No, he was on Doom Patrol.
There
Like
you go.
there was an episode of Doom Patrol or Titans where Doom Patrol was in it, but he wasn't in an episode, I think. But anyway, I only watched the first season of that Titan show. I didn't really, it was alright, but people didn't like it because Starfire was black in it. So
A fucking woke garbage. In Black Sapphire.
so it's kind of like, again, history's repeating itself, and Superman is being like the main thing that's being spearheaded to be the change in this universe, or give like the first impression. Because obviously we had, well, even that Suicide Squad,
The Suicide
the
Squad?
Suicide Squad and Peacemaker was part of the old DC universe, technically.
But it's being like shoehorned into the new one, right?
Yeah, or it's being, no, I think what it is part of the new universe, but it's in the same way that how, and because literally in DC they did the same thing. While they rebooted some characters, but like Superman, but like characters like Batman, it was kind of treated like everything that happened before pre-crisis was like still canon. So it's like they're literally part of the old universe, but they got put into, obviously we know why they got put into the new universe, but they were kind of like the things that survived. But the only thing we don't have a big explanation why they're in it, which they should have done during the Flash movie, but they didn't think that far ahead. All we know right now is that Ezra Miller's in the Batman Forever. Is that what that movie's called?
Yeah.
No, Batman and Robin. He's in the Batman and Robin universe. But yeah, so again, this movie is like the main. It has a lot of weight on its shoulders because it's trying to be the movie that's gonna carry the rest of this new DC universe, and they don't even have like a new phrase for this universe.
It's the DCU, no?
DCU?
Yeah, I think it's
That's
the DCU.
That's what they're calling it. They're just calling
Because
it.
there was the DCEU, now it's
Yeah.
the DCU.
They're just calling it DCU, not even like DC Cinematic or DCMU. They should have called it that.
Yeah, what's the M?
Movie universe.
Oh, I was saying Marvel.
Oh, technically not even that because they're trying to do animation and everything in it. But yeah, again, this is the main thing carrying it. So I understand why James Gunn wants us to kind of shoehorn everything else. Because my take on this movie, I feel like James Gunn doesn't really care about Superman. He's more interested in like everything else, like in the DC. Like he's kind of, what he kind of reminds me of is Grant Morrison, which is why, again, like he even said this is part of the main inspiration. All-Star Superman is part of the main inspiration. But so like Grant Morrison will do like these wacky, like, you know, off the goop characters from time to time, but he still kind of understands like at the root, like some of these characters like Superman and Batman, he understands how they work at their root, and he won't really like crazily mess with that. But he likes working with characters like Doom Patrol, the Invisibles, what's something else, Flex Mentalo, stuff like that. And that's what James Gunn wants. Or like he's more into like that crazy stuff, but then he's like, okay, I guess I have to do Superman because like who else would think, oh yeah, we need to put Guy Gardner in a Superman movie. Only he would think about
Guy
that.
Gardner was which one?
He's the Green Lantern.
Oh.
The one with the bull haircut.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask him like, was it like no way that's fucking Hulk?
No, yeah, no, that's So there's a bunch of them. Obviously, if you know anything about DC, you know there's a bunch of Green Lanterns.
He's a black
He's
one,
like
right?
he's like the third one. So it's like in chronological order. Well, it'll probably take us forever, but chronological order. Alan Scott, but he's not part of the Green Lantern Corps. Al Jordan, John Stewart, who's the black one. Guy Gardner, who's the guy with the bowl cut, ginger. And we got Kyle Rayner, who's Mexican. And we have
When does the Mexican bitch come out?
Jessica Cruz, also Mexican. But like Kyle Rayner, he's like white Mexican, which is funny. Then there's like a Muslim one, and then there's
fucking Muslim Green Lantern.
Then there's yeah, he even has like a tattoo that's like in green. But all the after Kyle Rayner, all the other ones were like forced like diversity ones. Like I'm not really gonna they're all right characters, but they're not really as memorable as the other ones. But yeah, like who would think to put Guy Gardner in a Superman movie? Like James Gunn. Oh, it's funny because like this is technically the first James Gunn movie I've seen.
You never seen Guardians?
No, I never.
The
seen
Suicide
Guardians.
Squad?
I haven't seen the Suicide Squad yet. Like this is literally like the first.
Wait, well, hold on. You seriously never seen Guardians?
No, like when they showed up in Infinity War, I just like assumed. I did that thing where I just like assumed like, oh yeah, these are characters in the world, and that's it. Like, 'cause there was a period of time with Marvel where I did not watch. Like from like Avengers 2 to like Civil War, I didn't watch any of that.
I didn't watch anything from Avengers 1 till fucking.
And I never try to catch up or anything. I just want like, oh yeah, that exists. Like I've never willingly like opened up Disney Plus and was like, oh, let me watch that again.
No, I spent like a year catching up with all.
The only one I rewatched was like Incredible Hulk, and that was only because like I watched it with you. Like I'm down to do it, but like in general, I haven't been.
We should do that.
I haven't been that guy to like watch everything Marvel for like a long time, and so like once I missed it, I was like, yeah, I just missed it. But yeah, I like all of my impressions of James Gunn has been literally just off of like inertia or like what everyone else feels about him. So I was like, when I heard that he was doing Superman, I was like, whoa, oh yeah, it's cool. He's doing.
I was worried.
But yeah, then I started finding out later, like kind of like his humor and everything, and or just looking at the formula that he does, because technically he never really did like
this formula
superhero movie.
His formula is like ragtag group of people that come together and have to put like their differences aside to like defeat the grand fucking wizard or whatever.
Yeah, and he did kind of shoehorn this formula into.
Yeah, because I don't think that formula works well with Superman, but I think in the movie, like I don't think the movie. I mean, I thought the movie was good. I liked it, but I don't think it was that bad. But it definitely did feel a little awkward. I don't think Superman is like the type to go on a ragtag adventure. I mean, I'm not as familiar with the comics.
What they did is they took him out of the equation, or they found a way to take him out of the equation so that every other character
interact with each other.
Because he's one. Because I kind of say this too. When people tell me like, "Oh, Superman's a boring character," like why do you find him interesting? Well, the thing with Superman is
the only time Superman's an interesting character is when he's fucking destroying humanity, according to these fucking retards.
But what I usually like to say is like it's not really Superman. Like Superman's like, you know, he's just like a symbol of what
truth, justice, and the American way.
Yeah, well, really not in this movie. In this movie, he's truth, justice, and intervening in
foreign conflicts.
Yeah, foreign conflicts. Not really America first, if you ask me. I should just censor out, blur out, like blur it out.
Yeah,
blur it out.
Yeah, this isn't.
He wouldn't wear that hat.
Let's just say that.
But what was the scene? He's just supposed to be like the stand-in character that can do everything. But what's interesting about Superman is all the characters around him. So you got Lex Luthor, Lois Lane. You have the fact that he has to hide before he was in, he showed his identity to her. He was supposed to hide that he was Superman. We have Jimmy Olsen, who goes on all those crazy adventures with him, and is basically Jimmy Olsen is like his Robin, or should be in the comics. Then we have Brainiac. We have Bizarro. Literally, like Bizarro. Literally, his character is that he literally thinks the opposite or like he communicates the opposite. Such like interesting character. Mixel Splick, like he has a good cast of side characters. Now I haven't brought this up yet, but with my interest in Superman, I would say my interest really started with Superman was around when Batman vs Superman came out. Not because I like really liked that movie when I first saw it. I think it's okay now, but I did feel like there was something off with that movie, with how they were depicting everything.
They're gonna get Martha.
So when I started,
why'd you say that name?
So that was around the time when I really started getting into comics, and like or like reading the comics, because at that same time when that movie came out,
The New 52.
they were phasing out the New 52 comics, and they were bringing,
I know some shit. I know
they were
some
bringing
shit.
in DC Rebirth, and what happened in DC Rebirth?
Nothing was birthed.
Well, the idea of the Rebirth was to bring back things that were missing in the DC universe. So they didn't reboot the New 52, but it was like the same universe, but they were just phasing out stuff. So what happened at the end of the New 52 is that New 52 Superman died from like kryptonite poisoning, and what ended up happening is that the pre-Flashpoint Superman showed up, because what started the New 52 was Flashpoint. So the pre-Flashpoint Superman showed up and just like filled his spot, and he was like kind of out of place and everything. But what they did is that they took like the classic Superman that everyone like liked, they brought him back, and so we're having that type of Superman in the comics now. And so that got me deeper into, okay, well, this is Superman now, then I should read the old Superman. But then I realized, oh no, I need to go all the way back. So what really made me like Superman was, I got my stack right here.
Boring. No, I'm just kidding.
I like how you always have to say no. I'm just kidding, because you think like
no, I no, because this the first comic that I read after I read Invincible was actually it was Red Sun. Is that what it was called? Yeah, and then when I started getting into superhero movies, Man of Steel is the one that got me like hooked on like the whole like not Marvel, but like superhero cinematic universe. Yeah, Superman's fucking goated. Like, fuck whoever says he's boring. Fuck you. Fucking piece of shit. Fuck yourself.
Yeah, they're always so like
He's so boring. Like, nigga, why can't we just watch a movie where the good guy just fucking wins? Why does everything have to be a deconstruction of the fucking character? But yeah, like, why the fuck do we need to have every fucking superhero needs to be a deconstruction of a hero, of the hero genre? Or it has to be a fucking a commentary on today's political fucking climate? Leave me the fuck alone. I just want to enjoy a fucking movie. I want to enjoy a movie where fucking the good guy comes in, kicks the bad guy's ass, it makes me feel good at the end. Yeah. I want my hero to stand for truth, justice, and the American way. Family, God, Jesus Christ. Why can't we have that anymore? Everything has to be fucking... And I like Punisher because Punisher, he's more real life. Like when I see Punisher and I see John Berto and I get my fingers out of my ass, it just makes me feel more real. Like, it's so much more realistic. Like when I see Batman and I see Daredevil, my mom, when she makes my tater tots, and then I start reading the comics, it makes me feel like it just feels more real. There's he's like an onion. He has layers. Yeah, Matt Murdock, he's Catholic, but he sleeps around, and I wish I could do that, but I can't because I'm too busy reading his comics.
If you really think about it, Bruce Wayne is the mask. Batman's the real person.
Oh my god! That idea's never been explored before. It's so crazy. Oh my god! You should do one where Batman is bi-curious and kisses Superman, because that's more relatable to me.
Yeah. And that's the problem with this movie, is that they try to make him too relatable, because this movie is a response to everything that the
Man of Steel, because all the faggots don't like Man of Steel.
Because they don't like that he was treated as like
Space Jesus.
Yeah, Zack Snyder treated it as Space Jesus, because Zack Snyder was smart in that, because he knows that even though some people were like, oh no, it was actually Moses, the average American consumer enjoys the story more. They enjoy the story of Jesus Christ more. But over the past couple years,
Ooh, that's a good one.
due to all like the degeneracy, you know, the pornography, and
They don't want to strive for something. They can't see a character and think like, "Oh wow, I can be like Superman." No, they need Superman to be a fucking.
they needed to be just like him. They needed to have flaws and everything.
He has to be into punk rock.
Yeah, they needed to be mad relatable. And I'm not saying. I feel like everyone's been kind of conditioned to see him like that because
Christopher Nolan.
no, not because of Christopher Nolan.
Yes.
How?
Because he tried grounding Batman in reality. Because Batman before used to be Robin. We gotta go to the Batmobile. We gotta be to the. We need to show to Gotham and stop Joker. Right,
Stop
and
the
then
Chinese.
and
It says stop the Chinese.
we need to stop the Chinese.
No, because there was this one Batman, like this old black and white cereal, and it was like really racist against Japanese. I'll show it to you later.
I know what you're from the 1930s, right? I know what you're talking about. But yeah, so Christopher Nolan, his thing was that he was trying to make Batman more relatable, more realistic, right? With like having like the ATF, the FBI, Mossad, having all those guys.
This is what they don't want you to see.
Which one is that one? The Gotham City series.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's where all this nonsense kind of started. Where, you know, again, Christopher Nolan.
No. This is where it really started. It started with, John Byrne getting on Man of Steel, because that's when, or it really started with Marvel, because DC, they made characters that
larger than life
people wanted to strive through. And then Stan Lee just had to make I'm gonna make Spider-Man. Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, mainly Steve Ditko, allegedly had to make Spider-Man and had to make him be like, oh, but no one likes me. And then Steve Ditko left the book and immediately he gets like 2 girlfriends. Because he's
not like me anymore. Spider-Man not like me anymore.
They had to make him like, they had to make all these characters like relatable. All the Marvel characters.
Even today, Spider-Man's a fucking cuckold. They make him too relatable.
but yeah, so Marvel was the one that started it, and then once the Marvel started seeping into the DC with John Byrne writing Superman, that's what I'm saying. People have been conditioned to it because I've seen people, they've talked about this movie and they're like, yeah, this movie is just like the cartoons. And I'm like, bro, the cartoons had it wrong too. The animated series, I know, I like that cartoon, but still it had it wrong. Because okay, to me, I'm really autistic about my depiction of Superman. Because okay, this was the comic that really made me like Superman. Alan Moore's Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow. This was supposed to be like the send-off love letter to Silver Age Superman, and at the time I didn't read any Silver Age Superman, so I did have a connection, but what this book made me realize is that I really like this incarnation of Superman. So now I have all this Silver Age. Oh, this is Bronze Age, but I have all this just phone books worth of Silver Age Superman. And the reason why I like this incarnation the most is because it's of his time, but because it's not the original version of Superman, but enough time passed that it was different enough, and it had its own things. And one of the things that I liked about this incarnation is that by the time he becomes Superman, he's basically like a perfect person.
Are you talking about James Gunn or
no? The Silver Age Superman.
Oh, okay.
Because this movie tries to take some of the Silver Age aesthetic of that era, but obviously they're gonna try to modernize it, but they also add things that are like heretical, I believe, to it, or they're just changing just because they think that's what's gonna please like the mainstream audiences, which it does.
Also, it's the director that they have. That's not, Superman isn't his style of directing.
Yeah.
Or writing. I don't know if he read it.
Yeah, I think he wrote it too. But yeah, he did a lot of things to Superman or in this movie just because like he wanted to do it, but it doesn't really make sense in like the overall lore of Superman. So what I say like the main thing is. The main thing is, it's not even the main thing, but it's something that is kind of sprinkled throughout the movie, which is how they change his the Kryptonian origin story. Now people are saying that, okay, obviously, if you don't know, spoilers by the way, spoilers for the whole movie. If you don't know, in this movie, Superman finds out that his Kryptonian heritage, because he's been watching a video the whole entire like that's like 10 seconds, but the rest is corrupted. Lex Luthor fixes it, and he finds out, or semi fixes it, and finds out that the second half they're saying, oh, your duty is to have a harem and have multiple wives and rule on to people. And
it would be funny if at the end he became a Muslim.
that's how he found a way to get out of it. But they because James Gunn is being coy with this, because he's saying all this stuff, being like, yeah, Superman is just the immigrant story. Just the immigrant story. No, it's very specifically the Jewish immigrant story, but he doesn't want to say that in front of the mass public because he knows what they're gonna think.
Like the crazy, the ones that wear like the dog mask.
Yeah, the mass. If the mass audience gets told that, there's gonna be way more controversy. Or how do you like to call it?
Controversy?
Yeah. You're gonna get a lot more baggage with that, and he doesn't want to poke that bear. So he's just gonna say, oh yeah, it's just an immigrant story. But everyone who's tapped in knows the Jewish connection with Superman. Can you explain it to me a little bit? Like, I know you know it.
Okay, so what I'm guessing not you, but James Gunn is trying to allude to is that Superman is basically like an allegory for like a secular Jewish person, right? Learning about, let's say, like the Talmud, right? And everything that the Talmud says about non-Jews, Christians, and stuff like that. So that's basically what Superman kind of is. So he's very similar to like Brother Nathaniel, right? Shout out. And he
But no, I'm talking about what like not this version, but like how you connect just like the archetype of Superman to Judaism.
He's like a messianic figure?
No, it's because so he is brought from another world. Let's say the another world is like occupied Nazi Germany, or any place that had Jewish refugees come to America, and those Jews are they gonna take me down for this? I'm complimenting them actually for this. They came to America and they found a way to
make their way to the top,
and it like kind of imposed like their beliefs onto the masses, and supposedly guide the rest of America. That's what they did, and that's what Superman does. Is he's from another planet. His parents couldn't make it with him, but his parents want him to impose these certain ideals, and he leads on to that. Now what this movie tries to subvert is that they what his parents want him to do is be more authoritative and not be like so passive in the way how he enforced himself. But then again, he still finds a way to be authoritative in some ways.
Well, it's kind of like when like a Jew converts it to like Christianity, and they still find a way to bring their like Jewishness to it.
So yeah, so that's what I was gonna connect to the second half, because it seems like he's trying. James Gunn is trying to put this theme in because he knows a bunch of secular Jews in Hollywood that don't feel this way. That they're like, no, I don't.
Well, there's a lot of Jews. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there like a lot of Jews that are anti-Israel?
Yeah. Like
I'm not gonna say it's the majority, but I know there's like
I forgot his name. Like Ethan
the Ben
Klein.
I know the Ben and Jerry's guy.
Ethan Klein.
The Ben and Jerry's guy. He's pro-Palestine.
Yeah. So I feel like he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna use this kind of Jewish figure who's a symbol of because like the origin of comics and the origin of Hollywood is very Jewish.
So that's objectively true.
Yeah.
That's not a conspiracy.
This is not like me like posting stuff on Twitter and being like, oh.
They don't understand the stuff I put on Twitter. This is why
Ben Shapiro doesn't like the movie, by the way. I just saw that he doesn't like it, but right when I saw that he was like, this is a bad movie, I knew why, because this movie is about a Jew rejecting Judaism, because he doesn't like that how harmful it's perceived to be, and or like the legacy. I guess maybe that's why it was called Superman Legacy. You know how originally it was supposed to be called Superman Legacy? That might have been why. Because he rejected his legacy. Cut. But a lot of people are saying that this is similar to the John Byrne Man of Steel stuff, but not really, because in the John Byrne Man of Steel, that miniseries, it ends with Superman finally like finding it or like seeing his parents being like projected, like his Kryptonian parents, and he just gets spooked out because he just gets rushed through all this information about Krypton and everything, and at the end he just goes like, oh wow, that's crazy, like I finally figured out why I'm so powerful. Like literally at that point he just thought that he was powerful because he was what's it called, he was just like a super, like literally he just thought he was just like a Superman. But then once he found out that it's because he's like an alien, he has Kryptonian heritage, he's like, whoa, this is so crazy for me, but right now I'm just gonna ignore all that and I'm just gonna live out my duty as a human, because he's like, literally he says it, I'm not Superman because I'm Kryptonian, I'm Superman because I'm human. And but he doesn't outright reject it, and because they do kind of tell him the same thing where it's like, okay, well, you need to do better for the world, you need to impose yourself and everything, but he just at that moment he rejects the Kryptonian side of him because it's too confusing for him. But what that was supposed to symbolize in the John Byrne Man of Steel thing, because not only in John Byrne's version of Man of Steel, post-crisis version, he isn't necessarily an immigrant, because literally when he gets put on Earth, that's when he's born, because there's some weird like insemination thing where like they're just like a little dot or something like that when they're in the ship. So when Jor-El sends him off, he's not like a baby with like a cape and everything. He's like
a fetus.
Yeah. So right when,
IVF shit.
Right when he lands, the baby comes out, and they did that because, well, I guess they wanted to do what was it called? A birthright citizenship. So they wanted to say yes, he is a citizen. Or at least John Byrne wanted to say yes, he is technically a citizen because he went right when he was born, he landed on Earth. So when John Byrne did that change to the lore, it was because he wanted Superman to be American. You know, actually I haven't read this one in a while, but yeah, this is what mainly they don't want you to see this Superman because no, because they want Superman to be a global character. It's the same reason they don't want to call the Justice League of America, because that's how they've been traditionally been called.
Well, because Americans, we used to look at it at ourselves as like the leaders of the world, and I don't understand why that can't be the.
But now we want to also appeal to different countries and stuff, and like just having, even though this guy is literally like almost the American flag colors, we don't want to have him impose
Americanism. We
don't want to have him be so associated with America.
But I think America should be the leaders. We should be the leaders of the world, and I think we should impose our ways in every other country.
And that's why you like this movie, because that's what he does.
Basically,
does.
Basically, that's what we're supposed to do. That's our duty as America, as Americans. We're appointed by God.
It's so
or funny. The great architect, according to these guys.
Oh yeah. So I've seen so many takes on this movie so far, that are like all over the place. This movie, it kind of feels like it's like a political like what's it called, Rorschach, that character from Watchmen. Do you know what a Rorschach is?
No.
So a Rorschach is it's like a test they give you, and like when you see something, you gotta say like what do you
I know
see?
what you're talking about, Sigmund Freud. Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, this thing. But the character from Watchmen, he's called Rorschach, and his face is like this because he has what's it called? Like he sees one thing, but most people see something else. But it's funny because he's like literally like a conservative, like red pill guy, but he's treated as like kind of a dickhead, even though everyone likes his character, and everyone you need to read fucking Watchmen. I don't know why you haven't read Watchmen. But yeah, so this movie is kind of like people see one thing, and some like other people I see something else. Like I saw one guy, he said, yeah, this movie is basically like pro Bush era, or not Bush era, pro Iraq war. And then I saw someone else say this movie is I
think it's pro interventionist, and I also think it's pro Palestine.
Someone I saw something else. It said I bookmarked this one. But this one was from a griper. I'm probably gonna show it on the thing. Oh my god, he said something like oh, the reason conservatives hate on Superman is because the what's it called, Lex Luthor is like a tech bro like Peter Thiel, and it's anti I forgot the other part, but and then I see people who are like, oh, they killed Netanyahu in the movie, dude. Gosh, it's like people want to see what they want to see like imposed on the movie, and I guess that's fine because this movie's so all over the place that you can just kind of make anything out of it. But that was the main thing I got out of the movie, was that this movie is basically about like a secular like Jew denouncing.
It also felt like how do I say it? Like, I guess because like Omni-Man and fucking Homelander, I know bringing them up is fucking cringe.
Well, I mean they have affected.
But they've affected now. They've affected who Superman is, and I feel like the movie is trying to be like, hey, do you remember the guy that inspired Omni-Man and Homelander? Well, this is who he really is.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie. Every fucking time Superman would fly in, like, and show up anywhere, because I've been so like programmed by fucking Invincible.
Oh, you think he's gonna kill someone?
Yeah, he's gonna like pop somebody's fucking head off or some shit. I've been programmed by the boys and fucking Invincible. Because there was a few times, because I was drinking a little bit, and I was just sitting there just enjoying the movie, and all of a sudden I just see fucking Superman just, and I'm like, he's gonna pop his fucking head off or something. It's a DC movie. Relax. You know what I mean?
But there was a lot of violence in it.
Yeah.
For a DC, for like what's supposed to be like a mainstream DC movie,
he was beating the fuck out of the fake Superman.
No, not even that. Like when Lex killed the Indian guy. Like,
oh, like, do not redeem. Boom.
I feel like there's like even like a little too much like swearing in the movie.
I don't like that. That's one thing I didn't like about the movie, is there's too much swearing. Hashtag super shit.
Because what I hate is that this movie, it doesn't even feel like it's for kids. It felt like it was for like
man-child.
Yeah, it was for infantilized people who've been complaining about Superman not being hecking wholesome enough in the modern entertainment. Basically people who've been complaining about Man of Steel for so long. Like, that's what this movie was made for. It was made to shut up those people. It wasn't made to like literally like bring Superman to like a whole, or at least kids. I don't know, like it just felt like, and it felt like a hodgepodge of like a bunch of things. Like literally, like the crest he has. The crest he has is from Kingdom Come, but they made the part orange. That crest is supposed to be worn when he's like old, when he's like when he's a senior citizen. Basically, that's when he's supposed to wear that. It's not supposed to be the crest he wears when he's starting out. But James Gunn was just like, well, I'm gonna use that because everyone loves Kingdom Come. And then you use like the trunks. Well, I don't have a problem with the trunks, but it was like, well, I'm gonna put the trunks because everyone who loves old-fashioned Superman loves the trunks.
Oh, is that with the underwear, right?
Yeah, the underwear.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
But another thing, the villains were like all over the place. They're like obviously Lex was the main bad guy, but like the engineer, the little, like, not the little, but you know, like the little brown girl with the braids.
Oh, I was making fun out of her. I was like, I'm like, look at that fucking Puerto Rican bitch.
Yeah, like look, I'm gonna tell you right now, the only reason she's in that movie is because she's a Wildstorm character. Now, if you don't know, Wildstorm was a what's it called? It was part of Image Comics when Image Comics started, but then it eventually got bought out by DC. It was owned by Jim Lee. That's why Jim Lee is like the president of DC right now. But they're trying to bring in. I feel like the only reason she was in this movie was because they want to eventually do the Authority. But then that doesn't even make sense, because if they're doing the Authority, why would they need the Authority if we're in a universe where Superman's already like imposing or being interventionalist? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, at least. But they want to do, because okay, the Authority is kind of like that, that alternate like the Boys type thing, where it's kind of like darker takes on superheroes. But they were all in the Wildstorm universe, so I don't know how they're gonna fit it in the DC universe. But yeah, that literally the reason why she's in it is because they somehow need to establish that Wildstorm characters are in this universe so that Jim Lee can get a check. And then with Ultraman, that makes even less sense. Like, I think the reason why Ultraman was in the movie was because James Gunn's being fucking, what do you call it, he's being funny about it because he wants to be like, yeah, you know Ultraman, you know the Japanese Ultraman. Well, I'm gonna put my Ultraman in this movie, and then I'm gonna have him have a little circle in on his chest so that it could look like the color timer of Ultraman. And you're visually impaired and you're not culturally aware, this is usually how Ultraman looks like. So like this thing was like, this is like a color timer that all the Ultraman have, and it's like a light that like shows up, and once it's about to be like 3 minutes, it starts blinking because Ultraman can only be giant for like 3 minutes. But so he had that little thing, and he has like the eyes and everything. So he was being coy and being like, yeah, I have Ultraman, I have Ultraman in the movie. But it's like, like the character in the movie was literally just Bizarro, but he didn't want to use Bizarro. He was literally just Bizarro but controlled. But the thing is, like actual Ultraman in the DC universe, but you know there's an Ultraman in the DC universe, right?
Yeah, I know. The
actual Ultraman is part of Earth 3. So again, they just do that thing where it's like a red herring, because if you what I thought this guy, what this Ultraman was, I thought he was actually Parasite. I thought he like took Superman's powers or something like that, and that's why he's like OP and shit. But I was wrong. He's literally just a clone of Superman, but at the same time he's not Bizarro. Or maybe he can become Bizarro later, I guess. Like, cause then he get like put in like that dimension or whatever. So
yeah, he got sucked by the black hole.
Then yeah,
like Candace Owens' husband got sucked in by a black hole.
So I guess they can technically, like, maybe that's how they create like the Bizarro world, but they didn't give him enough Bizarro attributes, because that would have been cool at least if like he did his little coy thing with Ultraman, and then after a while they're like, no, actually he's actually just Bizarro. But like, all right, you use 2 characters to get your point across, so okay. But at this point it's like why you're just like doing too much. And then you do that thing where you hint at like the multiverse, you know, because that's what it's supposed to, that's what Ultraman is supposed to be. He's supposed to be Earth 3 Superman. And yeah, so he does that thing. I think even he probably did this with Guardians too, because I heard some people say that like the Guardians of the Galaxy, like the comics that were based on aren't really that similar to what James Gunn did, but he like imposed his own will, and it doesn't matter because these versions that he makes are going to be more famous anyways. So it kind of feels like a lot of that. So like the problem is when you change shit like that is that you kind of create like a divide. Because what I found interesting about like the hype for this movie, there's kind of 2 hype. It's like this movie and the Fantastic Four movie is that it has actually gotten people to like start reading comics, or like start reading the comics. Because usually it's one of those things where it's like when a movie comes out, like last year with Deadpool and Wolverine, the movie comes out and then some kids are like, oh, I want to read Deadpool or Wolverine or X-Men. They look at like one book and they're like, yeah, no, I don't this is like the movies. But because these 2 movies, at least so far with their promotion, they're kind of heavily relying on stuff from the source material. They are getting people to be like, oh, let me read the Coming of Galactus, or let me read All-Star Superman. Let me see what Ultraman is all about. So it has gotten people more interested. Like I literally saw people like who never read comics before. They're like, yeah, no, I just picked up like a fuck ton of like 90s Superman. And people like saying, oh, 90s comics are shit. No, only really Marvel comics are shit. DC had their shit going on.
Spawn.
No, Spawn was fucking retarded.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. It was bad.
Okay, with me. But yeah, that's what people say. They always say they always say 90s comics were bad, but literally DC had their shit together. DC mainly had their shit together because they were already owned by Warner at that point. But Marvel wasn't owned by Disney, and they were kind of just like fucking around, not doing shit, and they lost all their talent to Image because all the Image people left. So they're kind of flailing. But DC had their shit together, and people shit on Death of literally people only shit on Death of Superman because, oh, they had a bunch of covers and a bunch of people bought it, like literally. But it was a good fucking story. Like, yeah, they killed him for publicity and all that shit, but it was a good story. Okay. But I don't know, I kind of ran out of stuff to talk about. Like, I mainly do not like this movie because I have an like autistic incarnation. Okay, I'm gonna tell you my incarnation, what I think the best version of Superman should be like. which again is based off of the Mort Weisinger Silver Age Superman era. So one thing is, he should be Superboy when he's a kid. He shouldn't be thinking like, oh look, I don't know about these powers. Right when he knows he has the powers, he should be Superboy. In Smallville as a kid. When he's in Smallville as a kid, that's when he learns about Kryptonite. That's when he learns about Lex. That's when he learns about, oh, I need to hide my identity and all this. That's when he learns all that stuff. Not when he turns like 18 and his parents go like, oh, you were actually sending from this. No, he needs to learn all that stuff growing up as a kid, so that when he does become Superman, he's basically a perfect person. Which I'm pretty sure that was what Smallville was trying to do, except they didn't want him to have a costume. They wanted him to get introduced to all this stuff. Now, also, I'm pretty sure Smallville did like every single Superman storyline before he was Superman, which is funny, but beside the point. By the time his parents shouldn't be alive when he's Superman, because they do this thing. This is one of the things John Byrne added, where he kept his parents alive. His parents, the main catalyst for Superboy to become Superman is that his parents die, because once his parents die, he doesn't have a reason to stay in Smallville anymore. That's the kind of like, his parents were kind of holding him back. But now what the modern incarnations like to use his parents for as a way to keep him grounded, because they need him to be relatable. But after he's Superman, he should have everything figured out for the most part, because once he becomes Superman, he doesn't have all that baggage. If you need someone to what's it called, if you need someone to ground him, you had two other characters that don't have to die. You have Lana Lang and you have Pete Ross. You know, Lana Lang is the girl that he's in, that was like his like girlfriend kind of when he was in Smallville. Like the town, not the TV show. She's in a TV show too, but that's like his hometown girlfriend. The Lois Lane is like
the big city girlfriend.
The big city girlfriend.
Fucking
slut. And, well, really, she's like a feminist archetype. If you want to get that deep. But yeah, so Lana Lang was like the one from Smallville, and Pete Ross was like his best friend. So those are the characters that you can go like where he has his humble beginning. That's why I hated too. I hated his fucking parents in this movie, because obviously
they're like these dumb fucking hits.
Yeah, because they did this thing where it's like, oh, the Man of Steel parents, they looked like too perfect, like because it was Kevin Costner, and they looked too
Kevin Costner and his fucking hot wife. They
looked like too like perfect movie star-ish. So then James Gunn's like, yeah, it'll be funny if they're just Hicks. And then the way they talk is like remember like the burrito, he's like, oh, we went back to the burrito place. Like, bro, shut up. Oh, it's funny because that's how those,
but his parents, his Earth parents, were supposed to be like yeah, they were like country folk, but they were like wise. They weren't like a bunch of like, oh, we went to Buc-ee's and had some
yeah
we went to Buc-ee's and had some tater tots.
Well, no, it's not, he didn't even say. He said like,
I'm just making shit up.
Yeah, but the I feel like it was on purpose what he said. He was like, we went back to the burrito shop with Jorge. I'm like, bro, oh my gosh. Because I assume that line is supposed to mean that they're like somewhat tolerant because they go to a burrito shop.
Kevin Costner were like, fucking burrito shop. I'm not going to a fucking burrito shop.
I have heart pain already.
You think they don't even speak English in there? Let's go to Cracker Barrel. Let's go to Cracker Barrel, Clark.
And then the mom, when the thing shows up on the TV, when that big split shows up on the TV, she's like, Clark, you're gonna want to look at the tube. Who the fuck calls it the tube anymore? Like, it was very.
Did she call it the box?
No, she called it the box. There's something on the box.
Nobody said that in like fucking 50 years.
No one. And it's like a fucking Vizio fucking flat screen. Like maybe if they had like the last fucking CRT tube TV, I'll be okay. Maybe they're like that down bad, but no, they had a fucking flat screen TV.
Like, hey Alexa, where's like,
because the thing is,
hey Alexa, where's burrito shop?
Because that's what makes me mad about the last part. where he goes like, "Oh, show me my parents," and it's just his like dumb hick live fucking parents. Because from those interactions, maybe if there was more stuff that was cut out, I do feel like there's a lot of stuff cut out of this movie. But just off of those interactions, they don't sound like they were like wise people. If anything, they just sound like that. Oh yeah, they took in Clark and like they just let him do whatever, and then he found out.
I thought it was a wholesome moment.
But okay, the thing with.
Well, I still think they were dumb hicks. I thought it was a whole.
Because the thing with Superman, the thing that makes him like a miracle is that he had two sets of parents that both impose good ideas onto him. We don't even see two good parents in America nowadays.
He had 4 good parents.
He has 4 good parents.
Now you don't even get one.
Yeah, and now all of them instilled.
Because fucking Lupe drops off her little Aiden at Friday night to go fucking a cock for the weekend.
Yeah, that's like the brutal truth about it. But now, that's why Superman was like his creation or his existence is a miracle, and that's why he does good. But what you're saying now is that, oh no, he just does good because
it's intrinsic.
His parents were like nice to him, or like they were cool, I guess, and they have some vague boomer wisdom. But yeah, and that's they made him way too Marvel. Because okay, like Man of Steel, John Byrne, they made him like contemporary Marvel, like 80s Marvel, which is still tolerable. They made this, I was gonna say this nigga Superman. They made this Superman modern day MCU stage whatever stage 5.
Stage 5,
whatever. What's it called? What MCU stage are we, or phase 5?
Phase is stage 5.
I mean,
Superman has stage 5 cancer.
That was All-Star Superman I'm talking about. But yeah, no, this one was just like modern, and then the jokes and I realized something about like all the Marvel humor and jokes and everything. They don't add those jokes to please like moms or whatever. They add those jokes to please like autistic people because they need like a cue when to laugh. Because those jokes are like so forced that it's basically a laugh track.
Basically, yeah, because when they first put in the quips, it was like, woo, that's a good one. But now it's just like,
it was because, okay, this is kind of off track, but I was at G Fest this weekend. This week was kind of like an autistic like consumerist fest. There were so many things. So the first thing, the snack wrap comes back.
Dude, that shit was so fucking good.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I had it 2 times.
I think it's mid, bro.
Get the fuck out of here. Did
Like,
you get the ranch or the buffalo?
The ranch.
That's why you gotta get buffalo. So I know you're a weenie and you can't handle fucking spice.
Well,
but
in general, I don't like, even with the McChicken, I just like getting the regular McChicken. I don't know why. Like, I can eat spice, but it's just like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I'm like, I think it's like my intrinsic entrenches like my self-hatred. Nah, I'm like, I don't want that spicy shit. But so the snack wrap came back. What else happened? So no, this literally happened back to back when I was watching Superman. I went to go to McDonald's to buy the snack wrap, bought like 2.
I want to get one after this.
I snuck it in the theater. Then I watched Superman, and then right when Superman right when I got out of the theater,
Justin Bieber comes out with an album.
Well, I was gonna say the Clips album.
Fuck Clips.
That's what I listened to.
Who the fuck are those guys?
Well, that was the album that I listened to right when I got out of the theater, and it was good. And then so that just back to back on that Friday night or Thursday night, it was crazy. And then Saturday I went to G Fest, and then this wasn't like involved with me, but like on the same weekend, you don't know these guys, but Angry Video Game Nerd and Nostalgia Critic, aka Doug Walker and James Rolfe, they're like old head like reviewer guys. They were at G Fest. I think I saw one of them, but then like they disappeared low key. But they did like a photo shoot at Galloping Ghost. You know that like place that has like a fuck ton of arcades. They were doing a photo shoot over there like Friday, Saturday, I think. I think they lined it up because they wanted to go to G Fest. But basically, what I'm saying, that it was like a good weekend for like autistic people with all the with Superman, G-Fest, seeing in Chicago specifically, seeing all those guys, and having the snack grab. Anyway, so when I was at G-Fest, they had the screening of what's it called? One of Ultraman Arc, the movie. Initial premiere. I know I'm pacing you out right now, but when I was watching the movie, because it was dubbed, and it was like supposed to be like a world premiere over there. I might as well show some pictures so I have some reason to talk about this. But when I was watching that movie, there wasn't even a lot of jokes.
We need to put timestamps for this.
There was a lot of. I'm gonna just cut most of this. I'm gonna trim off the fat. But when I was there weren't even a lot of jokes. There were just like vague, like random things that were happening, or not semi-random things. And whenever it happened, because again, everyone in this room is like autistic because they all love Godzilla and Ultraman. Whenever something like that happened, there are people like because they're in a public. If they're watching on their computer, they would just be like. But since they're in a public setting, they're kind of ramped up to be like, yeah, because they want to feel like they're part of like, that they're part.
And then
of
they all look
society.
at each other because they're trying to like make sure that, they don't laugh at the wrong thing.
No, they're gonna laugh anyways. That's what I realized. I realized those jokes that are in movies, they're not meant for like some the mom might laugh with the autistic kid, but it's mainly meant for the autistic kids. Like those type of jokes, they're meant to pander to them. Speaking of Ultraman, there's a lot of people saying that this movie is what's it called? I've been shitting on this idea. There's been a bunch of people saying that James Gunn was inspired by Shin Ultraman, because that was a movie that came out like 3 years ago. It was like a reboot of Ultraman, or like the original Ultraman, and people are comparing it to Superman because both movies they have like okay, so these are the two things that it has in common. So it's a movie about a famous alien superhero, and in both of them what's it called, they both kind of have like multiple bad guys show up, and it's kind of treated like it's kind of treated like they understand that where they're coming from is like a serialized format, which is for Superman it's the comics, for Ultraman it's a TV show. So they set up multiple kind of beats that kind of lead up into a bigger finale. And the second biggest twist is that the people, the other alien race that person comes from is kind of like more aggressive. But it barely makes sense. These people, that's why these people who are into like niche Japanese stuff, they like making it all about their personality. So they just want to be like, yeah, those like that. But the only validity I would say to that is that James Gunn does know about Ultraman, and I'm pretty sure there's like a clip of him saying like, yeah, there's this clip right here. He met with the director, who made Shin Ultraman. And by the way, the director of Shin Ultraman, or the writer of Shin Ultraman, was what's it called? Hideki Anno, who directed Neon Genesis Evangelion. But yeah, no, the comparison isn't that deep. These people who are saying it, they're just saying it because they want people to be like, oh, look at Ultraman, I watch Ultraman, it's if I don't watch, I just watched the fucking movie that Hideki Anno made. I don't actually watch actual Ultraman. Anyway, what are your final thoughts on everything we've been talking about?
I think it's a solid movie. They should make a Spawn sequel.
I don't think they're gonna make. I don't want to see a sequel to this movie. I'd rather just James Gunn just do his own shit. I feel like they just wanted to make this movie because they're like, well, he's the biggest character other than Batman, so you're gonna have to kind of do it. But I feel like in general, I would literally rather just the next movie be. I know the next movie is gonna be Supergirl. Also, yeah,
She's kind of hot. I'd fuck.
When I saw the Supergirl scene, it reminds me of my my sister, which is not a good thing. It reminds me when I had to pick up my drunk sister. But yeah, it kind of hit too close. And then when like that's wrong too. Crypto is his dog. She has a cat called Streaky or something like that. Crypto is actually his dog. He wasn't loaning him. What do you think about Crypto? Not the coin. I'm talking about Crypto, the super dog.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, he played his part in the movie.
I thought they kind of overdid it because James Gunn was like, yeah, everyone's gonna love crypto. Like you could tell with the marketing, he was gonna go ham on crypto. But I do find it funny that like he's like he like barely listens. Like with everything, like he has a good heart obviously, but like he doesn't really like listen, or he hasn't trained them really well. I guess Supergirl hasn't trained him.
Well,
really
because yeah, it belongs to Supergirl. If it belonged to Superman, he would listen.
But, hey. What do you think? What do you think is the N word in Kryptonese?
Kritika.